AP God people, welcome back to another video. This one is number 31, Presidential War Powers, Approval, and Policy Making. It's another good one. We got you covered on these topics. So let's start off talking about presidential war powers. Now, the president, as you know, is commander-in-chief. The president makes major military decisions, including whether to use nuclear weapons. And there's something called the nuclear football. Here's a picture of an old one, an old briefcase, but this is constantly within reach of the president. In case the president needs to use nuclear weapons, the codes are in this briefcase to launch them. So wherever the president is, this nuclear football is within reach at almost all the times. The president also authorizes special operations that the military may do. War Powers Act of 1973, make sure you know this bad boy. This was vetoed by Richard Nixon. And you know that once a bill is vetoed, it has a very small chance of being overturned. However, this is one of those about 10% of bills that are vetoed that is in fact overturned. And Congress is like, sorry, bro, we're going to override that veto. So this was passed over Nixon's veto. And this was created in response to the Vietnam War. What this states is that Congress sought to regain control of war-making decisions and limit the president's power during times of war. And this requires the president to consult with Congress within 48 hours of sending troops, and the president must withdraw troops within 60 days of the conflict unless Congress okays an extension. This is really more symbolic than anything, but it is an important step towards trying to limit the power of the president during times of war. Now, as a general rule throughout history, during times of war and crisis, the power of the president increases. You can see this with the use of the NSA and their spying without warrants on emails and cell phones after 9/11. Okay, presidential approval. Approval is usually around 50% and is often linked to the economy and foreign affairs. Now, here is President Nixon's approval, and you can see for the most part it starts at about 60%, 65%. It's pretty much hovering down around 50 in the mid 70s. Spikes a little bit in 1973 when it looks like the Vietnam War is going to start to come to an end, and then it plummets with Watergate and the economy going in a downturn. So more often than not, presidential approval is linked to big things like the economy and foreign affairs. And in general, the party not in power does not approve of the president's policies. It's very rare that you'll see the opposite party really support the president's policies in large numbers. When it comes to presidential policy making, the president is often more influential with the public than Congress. And think about it, it's just a matter of numbers. There's one president, there's 535 members of Congress. It is easier for the president, who is kind of the face of our government, to connect with voters than it is for Congress as a whole. One way the president can do this is through the bully pulpit, which is popularized by Teddy Roosevelt. This is using the presidency to influence public support for a policy. So whether it's going on TV, on the radio, asking the American public to call their Congress people to support a policy that the president wants to see happen. And President Reagan in the early 1980s appealed to the public. He went on TV to gain support for his tax cuts. All right, guys, thank you very much for watching. Look forward to seeing you back here for video number 32, Presidential Powers, both enumerated and inherent. I thank you guys for watching. Best of luck in May, and have a good day.